Hey, it's Kaylee. You know me as the Parts Girl, and I work here at PartsEdge. Thanks for following this awesome journey as we highlight thought leaders and trailblazers, share best practices in fixed ops, and cover success stories of how dealers sell more parts and service. This is the PartsEdge podcast with Kaylee Felio. Hey everyone, welcome back to the PartsEdge podcast. I'm super excited to be interviewing William Demaree from Tom Wood Auto Group. You are the FixedOps Director for the group, correct?
Yes, I am.
So how long have you been in this role? I feel like I should know this, but it's been a while.
I've been in the role with this group for 10 years, just over 10 years. So I've been with the group for 15 years. I started at our Jag Land Rover Volvo store 15 years ago, and 10 years ago got the opportunity to move up to the home office and work on the leadership team, and I haven't looked back. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you guys have grown a lot too. So before we hit record, we were talking about how you're overseeing 30 operations, including motorcycle power sports, but mostly dealerships. And one of the things that I really wanted to talk about, because you're at a Nissan store right now going through some changes. And I think that happens a lot when you are a fixed ops director overseeing a lot of locations. They know you're the boss, but they don't really know you.
Right.
So how do you keep that relationship alive? And when you do come in to make changes, how do you do it without making everyone mad? Because it's like that's their life. That's what they're doing. You come in, you're like, well, we're gonna change all this because this is what this other store does. So I'm gonna shut
Yeah.
up and let you talk.
No, it's a great question, and it's something we've worked really hard on, I would say, over the past ten years of we've had a vision of what does a good job look like, and how do we transpire what that is, and then coach it and teach it across the group so we're all on the same page. And I've always had the ambition of saying, like, A to Z, and if you can kind of stay in between there, you won't see me. If you start seeing like a double Z and you're outside of those parameters, then you're going to see me. And we do have a lot of different businesses, so I have to be very intentional with the time that I spend. And I know when I first took this role, I was all over the place. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to go here. Oh my gosh, I got to go here. I got to fly to Minnesota. I got to go to Colorado. I got to spend time, with the team. And it took me a while to settle in and realize, do I need to spend time at an Audi store that's 125% fixed absorption? Do I need to spend time, at my Lexus store? Would I be better spent to go to maybe a Nissan store or a Honda store that's kind of struggling with the process? So I slowly started kind of shrinking this in. And then we started a thing called the FixedOps Banquet. And our banquet is something we do twice a year. And we set a kind of a quarterly goals up for all of our parts counter, our service technicians, and service advisors. And then twice a year, we come together. We own the hangar, so we have a really big space. We have a big party, and we give away typically 40 to 45,000 in cash, and then about 10,000 in different door prizes. So we'll have 350, 400 individuals from Fixed Ops that show up to that. So it gives me a chance to give back to them and celebrate them as winners, and go around and introduce myself, and so people can kind of get to know who we are and what we stand for. So Jeff Wood allows us to do that. I always like to say we get to do a lot of great things because of him, and he allows us, and he really encourages and wants to be a part of something like that. So it gives me a chance to kind of put a name to a face. So if there's that time, when there's that time that I have to move into a store, I try to look at it as the store is not performing to the standards that we set as an organization, and our customers. Our customers have standards, and if we're not upholding those in a store, then it's my responsibility to find out why. So we started developing probably 8 years ago a service advisor handbook, and we have finished this since. And now we are going around and coaching, training this hand. It's very detailed. It's very bullet pointed. It's very specific on KPIs that we expect out of them. And individually will hold the team accountable and the stores accountable for what they're falling short on. So I like to look at it when I move in a store. I'm kind of trying to represent 95% of the employees that are there that want, a process like this. They want to be held accountable and they want to know what a good job looks like. So if I can come in and offer that up because A, it's not happening, or there's some shortcomings, there might be some casualties. Usually there is, unfortunately. But we get it to where the store's performing in a manner that our customers, expect and our employees expect. So that's, I think, how I get around the, oh my gosh, Bill's here. And usually when the word get, and it gets, I think it gets out faster than I can move in a store. Like Bill's moving in Nissan, Bill's at Nissan.
They know you're coming in a minute.
Yeah, it's got comical in a way, but I just do my thing and it tends to work.
Well, and the right people will appreciate you coming. And I love how you guys have a service advisor handbook. Like that's not something you hear a lot of dealerships do. And it's, I mean, every role really should have that. So you have that expectation, you know how to hold people accountable. There's a process. And then I think like over time too, you can make changes to that handbook because business changes, things change. So it's not just like something that was created 40 years ago, I'm sure.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, and it started with the Service Advisor Handbook. We also now have it. It's almost done. By the end of this quarter, we'll have the Service Manager's Handbook completed. And again, it's the accountability, it's the KPIs, it's what is expected. We are working diligently on the Parts Manager
I was
Handbook.
gonna say,
Yep,
you
it's
have a
it's
bunch of parts.
nope, it is on deck, and
Good.
we're already started the outline of what it's going to look like. That'll be completed by the end of second quarter, is my hope, and then third quarter is a fixed ops marketing plan, and that
Uh,
marketing plan will include parts, it will include wholesale, it will include service, and everything that we as fixed ops people have been thrown at and say, hey, market your department. We're not marketing. I have no, you learn it, right? You just kind of, you wing it for 39 years and you come up with stuff. So I'm actually working with some marketing partners with that, like an Epsilon and Nissan specifically. Their OEM division is helping me on it. So we're teaming up with people to help us document so we can hand that to fixed ops leaders and say, here is a great process to kind of follow and have a plan more than anything. And then the end of fourth quarter, we'll have the final sales, fixed op sale. We call it the sales process. So it's kind of like the Tomwood way. It's all packaged together. It'll go to every fixed op leader within our organization of how to run your business, how to. So if you have questions, go to page 3, section 2. It's all there. And like you say, I bought the printing thing that has a little clips and
I was
spiral
gonna say, how are
bounds.
you doing all this? So you're
So
physically doing it or no?
we were physically doing it. So Black Friday, they had the machine, and we used to send this stuff out. And I'm just not a patient person. Let's just say that. And I don't like to wait on people. So I bought the machine, I bought the supplies, and we're making our own books. And that way, also, as we have a change, we're HR might challenge me on something. So we're, counseling an employee. The place, so I really didn't know that. So I'll pull the handbook and say, well, you're right. There might be something we need to add there. So very easy on the fly. It's on a shared drive. I'll make the change. The new books will have it, and we can put a piece of paper right in and slide it right in.
Yeah, I love that process. And again, it holds people accountable and they know their structure. Everyone, I mean, most people really like structure. So I know I do. Um, you also do a lot of stuff with Rock Ed too, because I see it all the time. And I feel like this would tie into that because you can give someone a book, but the likelihood of them reading it page that every single it's probably, I don't know, slim. So is that incorporated in Rock Ed and what you guys
I
do with it?
am
Or is that totally different?
super excited about Rocked.
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent for what they do. I spent years trying to find a Rocked. Somebody please develop an app, micro learning, and I couldn't believe it. It was actually NADA New Orleans. I made it to and had a meeting with Rocked, and we came out there like high five and like this is what I want.
Yeah.
Again, Jeff Wood was all in, and we quickly adopted Rocket across our platform. And then last year, we filmed and produced our onboarding platform. So every employee now has inside the app at Tomwood University section when they come on board, and it just tells them all the benefits and what to think about, who's who, how to reach out to things. So we we filmed that. It took us about 90 days to launch that last year, and I was super excited to hand them my handbook at NADA this year. They were super excited to see it. They've heard me talk about it for a while, and our goal is to start filming that by second quarter, and it'll be part of our content.
Oh, that's so cool. I know I met with them too. I've been talking to them for a while because there's so like the opportunity, there's what the way I look at it is three for a vendor. Is like for onboarding clients to PartsEdge, having that like PartsEdge certification that you go through these steps so that you really understand how to utilize us, what we're doing, all those types of things. Same thing with you, like as you're onboarding employees, which that could be even used for us too. We could use it as onboarding employees. Like you have to be PartsEdge certified to understand everything that we do. But then there's the other opportunity, which I'm super curious about for you guys is do your people only look at Tomwood stuff or is it I'm trying to understand the platform because the one discussion we had was like just providing parts manager inventory management knowledge that they can just learn how to be a parts manager. It's not how to use PartsEdge, it's how to be a
Right.
parts manager.
Yeah.
Is that something that you guys do a lot of or
We
is
did. We have their entire platform. Our group, our size, we're at just over 95% employee utilization across our group. Very high users, and that's from parts service. And the beautiful thing about it is there's also a leadership tab in
Mhm.
there, and there's a ton, I mean, a ton of information on leadership, how to be a good leader, how to develop yourself. I know BusyCard just launched a program that's in there for mobile service,
Yeah.
and we're into the mobile service space. I have it in several stores. I have a standalone as well, and you actually have access to that. So you click on that. Hunter's coming online. UVI is coming online. So
Yeah.
we have a lot of companies that are partnering with them for their training platform. It was interesting. I talked to the HunterNet folks 6, 8 months ago, and had a call with them and Rocket, and Hunter was like, I don't see the benefit of this. So I challenged them. I said, log into your HunterNet and tell me how many technicians across just the US have logged in there and taken any of your training, like any of it. I can't tell you my password, let alone have I ever taken training. And I said, I promise you, in my stores, we have 293 technicians. You're going to find zero. Now, if you put them in Rockad and you have a Hunter tab and you click on, they have good stuff on tires and alignments and suspension and those things. It would be just a brilliant partnership for them, and they just inked a deal a couple months ago. I saw
That's
the couple
awesome.
months. So it's a win for the industry, and
It really is.
I'm a very huge proponent for the industry, and I'm not as much. Yeah, I'm self-serving for Tom Wood, and we want to do what's great for us, but I also want to leave the industry in a better place than it was when I got here.
Yeah, I think it's such a huge opportunity for everyone in this space to because I love how it's everything in one place. I think it's so annoying to go into 10 different platforms to learn when you just have one platform you can learn from and everyone's collaborating and putting their expertise and you can learn from it. So, um yeah, we're definitely looking at them because the one thing I get asked all the time is like, do you guys have any parts training? And I'm like, well, we just do webinars. It's a lot of work to do the scripts, to do really good production of training. You don't want to waste your time creating something that no one's going to watch.
Yep, that's right.
So they've mastered it. So, okay, I want to switch up with AI because that's something that you went to NADA. That was your plan. It seems like every year you go there with you have a plan and you're going to not leave until it happens. So, I mean, AI obviously it's been around for years. I mean, we've been talking about it. I feel like was it been the last 3, 4 years? Time flies. Tell me what your goal was, with AI.
I've been in the AI space for almost 10 years. I've been in the robotics space for about 3 years, big into the robotics as well. We have a parts robot that delivers parts. We linked up with another robotic company while we were there, and they have a robot that has a floor scrubber now that just
What?
runs around and cleans the floors of the shop. So
Hey. I will
I
say,
l
I have one of those robot, like, vacuum things,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
simple ones, and it's a very satisfying feeling of, like, knowing that it's vacuuming and when I'm
yeah.
working.
Yeah, I'm the whole space is exciting, to see just the change of, when I started this business 39, 40 years ago, of the way things were to where they are today. I love, the help that AI gives. I love, we signed a couple pretty big deals while we were there, which is unusual. I don't usually go there to sign deals, but I get excited about like
Don't
what's
share that with
happening.
people, you might get
I know.
attacked.
I never, I take it home and we think about it. But this particular one, I was really intentional with some partners I already have that we've been just a little bit kind of trying out. And I knew there were some cool things they were going to announce at NADA. And one of them is our phone AI system. And we struggle with the amount of phone calls that come in. We have an in-house BDC system. We built it, I think, 8, 9 years ago, and it works. It works great, but the AI system works better. And I remember just 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I got excited when an AI phone system would make 20% of the appointments. I'm like, wow, if they can make 20% appointments, we can make 20% outbound calls. And we started doing our parts on shelf, and we do a lot of outbound parts calls through our BDCs. Well, now, if the system's not doing 75%, it's not a good system. And so the one that I signed another store today, as a matter of fact. It's going to be in a majority of my stores because the automated communication that it sends our guests. If a guest calls and hangs up and doesn't leave a message, it will send them a text alert and say, "Hey, this is Kaylee. I'm your service advisor. I just noticed you called me. I'm on the other line. There's something I can help you with. You can text me back here." And it opens up a communication line.
Okay,
Same.
I have a
Yeah.
question.
Yes.
When it texts me, will it continue to text me, or is it gonna make me call to
No,
schedule it?
you can do everything via that text. If
Okay, that's cool.
Even if, let's say, you left a voicemail because I didn't answer, I'm too busy to answer because I'm on another customer, it's going to send you a text on behalf of me, but it's also I'm going to read a summary, bullet point summary of what you just said in the voicemail. And it's like, have you ever used ChatGPT and it'll give you a summarization? That's what it gives you. It says, Kaylee called, da da da, this is what she wants, got an oil leak, wants to come in on Thursday. Can you do it? It'll text on your behalf again and say, "Hey, it's Kaylee, sorry, I'm with customers. I see you left me a voicemail. I see that you need you to come in on Thursday. If that's good with you, I'm going to go ahead and get you booked." And you're not doing it, AI is doing it. And if you come back say yes, it will book your appointment, and you didn't even have to touch the call.
It's a huge deal.
It's huge, and it's got a new dashboard, which is a rolling NPS CSI indicator. So if the customer's calling you and their voice raises a little bit, they use language that you don't like, their NPS score is going to shrink. It's going to send the manager an alert and says, "Hey, we got an issue going on right now with this customer, and your NPS score is a 700. Do you want to intervene?" There's a whole dashboard that kind of controls that. So those are the exciting things that I like because it just it heads things off. And from me, from a 30,000-foot view, I have a dashboard. I get alerts if there's something brewing in a store now that I would never know about unless I see it on Google or Facebook or wherever. Now I'm getting alerted ahead of time, and it helps me manage, and it helps the stores and the leaders of the stores know what's really going on.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Well, and, like, I feel like I always push back when the phone call conversation comes up is, I don't think people really wanna call the dealership to schedule,
I
I
don't.
just
I
don't.
wouldn't. I wouldn't either.
I know, but everyone's like, "Well, this the data shows that they wanna call." I'm like, "Because that's the only option."
Man, you're right.
No, what are we doing? And the solutions like what you're talking about, and I'm totally fine if you want to share the name, is like those are the ones that are going to help us move forward because no one look at the other industries. We don't have to call Amazon. We don't have to call Walmart. Like I mean, those aren't scheduling appointments, but yeah.
Well, and Numa is who I'm talking about, and
Yeah.
I push back against them for a long time because I'm very loyal when it comes to our partners. And I was with someone else, and we just couldn't get them to the next level. And then I tested Numa in a couple of stores, and I just signed 6 more stores. We're rolling in like immediately, Nissan being one of them. But it's a partner that gets it. They see, they feel what our anxiety points have been. There's not a lot of delay when the customer's asking questions and challenging. You can get to an agent quickly if you need to. It doesn't push back, which I don't want. I always say if my wife is calling, she's hitting like 0, 1 pound. She doesn't want to talk to AI.
Mhm.
And I want an AI to know her phone number. It says, "Hey, if Jenny Demaree calls, like, don't even try. Like,
That's what
I
huge.
I
Yes.
understand you want to see an agent. Am I correct? Yes." And then just go and don't fight
Yeah.
them. Just
That's
let
the
it
other
go.
frustrating thing when you call phone systems, not even just dealerships. Like, I don't even I just wanna go. I don't wanna talk to an agent.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're just really frustrated and you just don't wanna deal with it. One thing I always have heard too is the pushback on the AI helping with the scheduling is that there's not a how do I phrase this? There's not a perfect way for it to understand the dealership's shop and like the text and like because everyone is a little bit different. How have you guys overcome that pushback with the software?
I've really never had a problem with it because we use X time, and if there's an opening in the schedule, now we have opcodes in there, and we monitor those to make sure we're using the right opcodes. But we've really not had a big problem. Numa specifically has been a lot easier than some of the others that we've used in the past. I mean, I started 10 years ago, like I say, up in Minnesota at one of our stores, and it was brutal. But I was willing for it to be brutal for a while because I wanted it to get better. And I knew the longer I'm in the space, the more I understand, the shortfalls and can accept what's working and what's not working. And it'll just get better. And the more of us that work with them and help develop them and make them better, it's again, it's just better for the industry. But
Yeah.
Numa's been fantastic so far.
Yeah, I've heard great things about Numa. There's so many companies right now that are doing such similar things.
There is.
How do you I mean, obviously you had one and then you moved to the other and you gave it time and you just kind of push challenge in a way to make it better. What would your advice be to other directors out there overwhelmed by all the different, because they're all really good at some things. I don't know. Like
One thing I learned is find out how long the AI has been working, because what it can't do is go back and learn. Uh, the experience, I guess, of it uh, means a lot. So
Mhm.
if one just got developed today, it's still got a few years to develop. The ones that were alive 2, 3 years ago, they've already spent those 2, 3 years getting better, and they need to own like their AI. They're not outsourcing them. And the leadership team, look for turnover. If there's a ton of turnover in your leadership team, I steer away from, because I'm a partner, and I need to know when I'm talking to somebody 6 months later, if I need something, I'm the guy that will text you, call you on Sunday. If somebody's suffering in my group, I'm brutal. I'm coming after you. But they respect that, and they know that if I need something, it's for the good of you, your business, and our relationship to make sure my team gets it.
I always appreciate those partnerships where people are asking questions and engaging and they're not like just set it and forget it. I love being challenged and like how can we do better? How can we use
Yeah.
this better? Like that's what it's all about.
Well, we launched the other big thing I was after was a better video system for our
Oh
MPI
yeah.
inspections.
Okay.
And I went to a breakout session. I love the breakout sessions at NADA. People think I'm crazy, but I get there early and I hit the breakout sessions and I take notes and I learn stuff all the time. And there was one on tech video inspection. So I'm big into media. I've been in the picture space, I think, a little too long. I was a little apprehensive getting into the video space. So we have a minimum standard across the group, 95% media, which is really pictures. I will switch that starting in January to video. So I went there purposely. I went to the breakout. I'm looking at the video. I've got a video on my phone that's a best practice I found at a Subaru store in Massachusetts, I think. And I'm watching the video and it's identical just a different brand, a different place. It's the same process. I'm like, okay, this guy's with True Video because they'll never tell you. You know, they're not allowed, I think, to tell you who they're with. But I'm like, this,
Oh, yeah, 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 they're not.
yeah,
Okay,
they're not.
True Video. Yes.
I'm
Okay.
like, okay, this guy's True Video.
You can tell me.
So after it was over, I stuck around. I said, "So you're True Video," and he kind of looked at me and smirked. He's like, "Yeah, we're not allowed to really talk about it." So I can tell by the video. And he said, "Well, I'll take that as a compliment." I said, "As you should. That's the best world class MPI video I've probably ever seen." And I have one on my phone that's very similar, and it was True Video. I said, "Tell me that you guys are integrated with Xtime." And he smiled. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, we partnered with them 6 or 8 months ago. We're doing their video." And I was I was pretty angry when he said that because I'm on X time. I have like
And I have to
15,
tell you.
no, I've got like 15 help tickets in with them, complaining about their reporting's terrible, the video's terrible. I can't do this. And they're trying to fix my reporting stuff without saying, "Hey, Bill, we're on True Video. Why don't we switch you?" So I went over to their booth and was pounding on some heads. And I said, "Guys, I'm telling you right now, I am not leaving NADA until we solve this problem." So this was on Wednesday. They promised me they're going to get this. I'm not leaving, and you're not leaving. We're going to get this done. Friday morning, we still didn't have it done. I went back over. I'm like, "Hey, where's Brenda?" And they're like, "Oh, she's on a flight." I said, "Turn the flight around because we had a deal. I'm not leaving until she gets this done." So another guy come up, pull me aside. We looked it up. He's like, "Yeah, you should be on True Video." I'm like, "Dude, like, sign me up. I just want to get it done." So another guy comes up and he says, "Hey," he says, "just so you know, I emailed your director of fixed operations contract 2 days ago. When he gets around to it, he'll get those executed. You guys will get on video." And I looked up at him.
You're
The
like,
guy,
I'm that person.
well, the, my assistant's with me. He starts laughing. I grab my phone. I'm scrolling. I'm looking at him and I'm scrolling. I'm like, "Yeah." So I've been here the whole time. You've never sent me an email. I'm not sure who you sent it to, but I am the director of fixed operations, and I'm not leaving until I get these documents. So he finally, "I'll be right back." I said, "I'm sorry, I was thinking of somebody else." He said, "I'll get those emailed to you." So I stared at him. I said, "Okay, all right, I'll wait right here." And he says, "Well, it takes time." I said, "Great, I'm here. I'm not leaving
I
until it's
want
done."
someone to do that. I want this. Why are
I
they making it so
get it
hard?
done. It took us
Yeah.
2 hours, 2 hours of sitting there, but
Like,
we got it
I wonder,
executed.
like, how can they do it better? Because I feel like this happens. Vendors partner and they do things together, and then there's not really a clear process of how to get the dealership. Like, all of X Times dealerships should be converted to True Video.
Yes.
Like, it should
Yeah.
be
I
just
I
I'll
we
finish
we
that
had an
project.
executive meeting with them, talking the same thing.
Yeah.
How is it we find out that we have tools, we have access to tools with nobody, but nobody tells us? I
Yeah.
mean, how is that? How does that feel good about a partner,
Yeah,
right?
isn't that what the DMSs do to you? They'll do things and then you're like, "We have that?" 10
Yeah,
years later?
yeah, yeah. It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
But we have it now, and they we got back Friday. By Monday, I was emailing them Monday morning. Where are we at? And I had 4 stores turned on by Tuesday morning, and then I had the rest of the stores turned on by Thursday of that.
If there are dealerships out there not using video or photo, you both, I think you should be using both. They're just completely dropping the ball.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, it's
But the thing is, you have to have a documented process.
yeah.
What I learned is you can't go out and tell tech, "Hey, shoot me a video." They're going to give you a
Oh,
video,
yeah. That's
right?
another
You're
thing.
not going to
Yep.
like it.
No.
I took a snapshot of the True Video process up on the big screen,
Okay.
and I took that picture when I got back. I threw it in chat, said, "Put this in a Word bullet point, step-by-step process for me." And it spit out that process that I took on it was probably copper, I don't know. But I took it, I duplicated it, and then I put my fix ops coach in there. He's in there with me all week. And we had a shop meeting at 3 o'clock. We put a car in there. We did a walk around video. This is what we expect. We showed them a video, the one that they were showing, of what a good job looks like. And we told them starting tomorrow, 100% video MPI, this process, every car, and I'm going to watch every one of them. And I
How
sat
did
there
you get
for
that?
3 days, watched
How
every
did
one.
you get the I'm sure you have amazing techs that are like, "Yes, I'll do anything you want." But anyone anyone else, like, how did you get them to, like, because it's they always say they don't get paid for that, but it's like, you flip the script, you do get paid for it.
We heard everything from, and I said, "How would you like to be able to make sure that every customer hears your voice and sees the air filter, sees the cabin filter, sees that it needs brakes. And now there's no hiding from it. You're telling me advisors are struggling. They can't sell. They don't show the customer and you don't know. If you do the video, all I need you to do is your part. I will fix up there. I will fix the drive. I will make sure that they follow this process and will be held accountable for it. So we've sped up the time between the ASR given to them to the advisor. My goal is to crush that down to less than 5 minutes. We had one person is 26 minutes, which isn't going to work. And then if we can just kind of keep that down to a 5 minute, get our customers watching the video. I look at them every day right now. I mean, obviously I'm living in that store, but we're watching every video. We're high-fiving. The next day, the techs were they were running up to tell, hey, did you see that video? I think I did really good. And they're
Yeah.
really proud of the product that they're giving out. And our customers are going to be so accepting of it.
Mhm.
And they want to see like what's going on with their cars. So I'm super excited about this partnership with True Video and the noise cancellations on there. I told our parts manager, stock up. We're going to start selling commodities. We're going to sell wipers. We're going to sell tires. We're going to sell everything that we haven't been selling because we haven't been doing videos.
Yeah, this is gonna make it you guys are gonna sell so much, it's insane. And not to mention too, the other piece, which I don't think, we talk about enough, but the Sunbits of the world and the financing options, like, we just did it with our truck because it was, like, almost $2,600, but you
Yeah.
could just phase it out with no interest, and it's like,
Why
why
wouldn't you?
not?
Yep. I put it as
Why
a standard opcode. It's on every ticket, opcode, financing, Sunbit, link, everything on every ticket. It's an automated opcode that comes on.
I love that because it just you just don't as you're giving them the option and not assuming, it's like, "Here you go. These are the options." Just like you give them different tire options, like, "Here's the different payment options." It's so exciting, all the technology and, like, just yeah, I think it's cool with AI, video, and you guys have a I mean, I love how you're not it doesn't seem like you're overwhelmed, like, you're kinda just, like, attacking it as it comes or not as it comes, but, like, having a structured plan and, like, taking steps, not, like, all at once because there's a lot you could do.
I learned years ago that if you follow the process, if you document it and you tell your team what is expected, here's what a good job looks like, they will do it. If you know, I talk to a lot of UVI stores. I do a lot of tours. I
Oh,
have
yeah.
13 UVIs,
Mhm.
and I'll hear, yeah, it doesn't work, and I look, I'm gonna say, you're right, it doesn't. Uh, but if you have a process and you use it for the tool it is, it works every time. We have two recon centers we built around our UVI systems because of the work that we're getting out of it. But we don't just stare at it. If you stare at it, yep, no, it's not going to work. If you share the scan with a customer, you show them the damage, the dents, the dings, and give them a price and the wheels and the tires and alignments, they will buy it. They buy them all day long. I have 13 of these, and I got a call just last week from somebody that says, "Okay, you were at NADA. Are you switching away from UVI?" And I said, "I have two fresh contracts. I've been on UVI so long, the leases are already up on two of my stores. They're 3-year leases, and we are going to renew them. We're not moving away from somebody." So they just keep getting better. They're getting better and better and better. We're acquiring cars. We're doing acquisitions through our UVI. Numa just signed with UVI. So they'll automatically get a text when you drive through the UVI. It's going to send you the text with the scan that's already on it. You take it home with you. So, I mean, there's just great things coming around it, but it's like anything. These tools and AIs, if you don't use them, they're meaningless. If you don't have a documented process of how to use them, you're going to fail. You'll just fail.
Yep, that's the biggest thing. They're not gonna fix it. They're not gonna fix your
Mhm.
problems.
No, they're not.
They're yeah. So, I love this conversation. I didn't ask you any of the questions that I outlined.
Sorry.
I no, no, I always do that though because I just love having just a natural conversation about because I didn't say like let's talk about all these different things. It was just that's how the conversation flew. So, is there anything that you want to add that you're super excited about for the rest of 2026?
I will, because I'm super excited about this next thing. I ha I had a vision. I mentioned the word Talmud University, and we have our onboarding through Talmud University. Well, um, I've heard, and I'm on the roundtable a lot. We talk about technician shortages, and I laugh at Ted. I'm like, I don't have a technician shortage. I did something about it. So I teamed up with an organization called Pursuit Indiana. Pursuit allowed me, it took a while. I mean, it's a lot of steps, but we're now the career center for automotive tech schools, 5 of them. So juniors and seniors, we take on 20 at a time. They come through our program. And if they're a senior, I pay them $16 an hour to work in my lab at my Ford store, job shadowing express techs. If they're a junior, they're in a lab. I hired an instructor from Lincoln Tech that teaches the program. We have our curriculum. We submitted it through the state of Indiana, did all the legwork, and we just got certified. So these kids are earning dual core credits as junior seniors in automotive technology. When they graduate, I signed a deal with Sonic Tools while at NADA this year. I've been working them for 2 years. I have a tool program for all these kids. When they come on board, I'm supplying them the entire tool chest with their starting tools, and they'll sign a 2-year deal. And then at the end of the 2 years, I will double the toolkit through Sonic and give them another big upgrade of the tool. So they'll never have debt. I'm paying for their tuition if they want to go to Indiana Wesleyan. There's another local college that's starting an automotive program across the street. Heard about my 20 kids. They want them. So we're working a deal out to where there'll be no tuition for these kids to go through there. So I'm hiring and like training my own future across the group. I have 54 students on standby for next year. I'm trying to buy a building to start our own university inside a different building. I've got it in our Ford store. We're out of room. So I'm trying to find a bigger space. So it is. We know about the tech shortage, but I really believe if you can intentionally get involved, intentionally build something like this incredibly, and get these kids, give them away. There's no debt to them, and they have the tools and the guidance from our instructor, and they're now sprinkled throughout our entire group, which is fantastic to see.
That's incredible. I think I've heard of a couple other groups doing something a little bit similar where they have a place for techs and training and getting certified. But the level that you're going to have a whole plan, like you're laying it out for them to like if you go through this, if you do this for 2 years, you have your tools because I think that's the biggest fear too, going into that industry as a tech of debt. And then there's student debt too.
Yeah.
It's just yeah, but I mean, it's that's so
And
cool.
very specific with Sonic because I don't want them wandering on a Snap-on Mac tool truck and getting the weekly, it's only $20 a week. Yeah, for the rest of your life.
Hey, but
Sonic,
they get a cool barbecue set if they
I know. I'll give them the barbecue set. Just stay off.
just stay off the truck. Yeah. What do you do when the Snap-on truck shows up? Do you have like sign like no Snap-on tracks?
They have a 2-hour window on my lots between 11 and 1. It's the only time they're allowed. I'll chase them out. If they see me coming, they never know when I'm driving, but I've had to chase them off a few times. So I'll chase them out because they're disruptive. And
Yeah.
techs are leaving. We're trying to fix cars and get them in. And I get it that the techs need to buy their tools, but if I can change that for the future, and it's mail order through Sonic, the lifetime warranty. You need a new one, they'll have it the next day. It's
Yeah.
easy.
And
It's
then they're
easy.
not wasting time shopping on a truck
Yes. Right.
in
I'll
the
give them a maximum.
back of the dealership. So funny. Well, I'm so glad you shared that with me because I think more dealerships and groups should do those types of things. And I know when I was in high school, we had a body shop, we had, metals, and that was where it was just fun to learn the trades that you could do and not just, I think I did metals instead of calculus. It allowed it, but it was cool. Now I can say I can lathe and do those cool things.
Yeah, that's right.
That's really cool. Well, thank you, Bill, for coming on the podcast. I'm sure people are going to get so much from this. I'm really excited to hear the feedback. I always learn a lot, so thank you.
Well, thanks for what you're doing. And like I say, let's all of us collectively leave this industry better than we got it.
Absolutely.